Hi everyone, welcome back to Curriculum Mapping with G Suite. In today's video, we'll look at inserting standards directly into unit planners via a custom add-on. Before diving in, I do want to give credit where credit is due. So the very foundational pieces of this code were shared to this community back in October of 2016 by Stephen. So this kind of sat sort of out there for a while. I thought about it a lot at the time, and then I started working on other things, and then sort of the concept resurfaced again. And we are where we are today, largely because of Stephen's contributions. So if we fast forward to 2019, this concept has taken on a little bit more sophistication, and Paul has been very quick to respond at answering some of the technical coding questions I've had, as well as some outside sources who are not members of this community have helped me understand certain concepts of AppScript to move forward on this. So here we go. We'll dive right into what it looks like today and how you can actually set up your test environment to try this out. And then in a future video, I will share the deployment steps to how you can make the add-on available to all of your teachers in your organization. Great. So I'm here inside of a unit planner on perimeter and area, and I want to attribute our math standards into this unit planner at the bottom. So you can see already there's been a placeholder established to receive all of the standards that belong with this specific unit, or all of the standards that we intend on covering in this unit. And a teacher interacting with this would simply go to the add-on. Here's the grade 5 standards. And again, this will be divvied up by grade level. So just to reduce the amount of standards that has to be sort of retrieved from a given Google Sheet. It will also make the tracking process a little bit easier when we get to that point. So I'm going to click Start, and it'll load a radio button question, an HTML form, so to speak, and I'm going to go ahead and choose mathematics as the subject area, and then submit. And here we have an accordion that is pulling data from a master Google Sheet. So I can then go ahead and begin attributing these standards into our unit planner simply by clicking on the ones I want to include. So say we're doing this, and notice how the cursor drops down to the next line. That's a really efficient improvement. It was something that I was struggling with trying to solve for a while. But it's very quick now to attribute the different outcomes. When you're done with a given strand, you can just click the strand and it'll close up, and then you can reveal another one. So this sort of reduces the amount of noise that's visible in the sidebar for you. So say you're done with the math altogether, there is a back button which will take you back to the original radio button form. And if you want to move on to, for example, the ISTE standards, you can go ahead and submit. And this will take you to a similar page, but this time loading the sidebar with the ISTE standards. So you can go ahead and continue to attribute the standards to the unit planner. So that's essentially how it works. And again, this would be one per grade level. At least that's how I'm envisioning it right now. There could be more creative ways of thinking about that, but that's how it is at this given moment. Some of you may have caught a glimpse of this scope and sequence sheet and are wondering, well, why are some of these items green? And the reason is my idea for the tracking mechanism is essentially a script that would run on this document and search the entire unit planner folder for matching patterns of text. And if it finds it, it would fill that cell with a different color, in this case green. So if you think about it, we would want all of this to be green at some point. Anything remaining white, it means we're saying we're not covering this in any of the units. So it's not as sophisticated to tell us which unit planners are covering which standards, but it is a starting place, and it lets us know at least where the gaps are. So if nobody's covering some very important pieces of this, we can at least figure out where those should be fitting in and have a conversation. So we're not there yet, but that's kind of the future of where this is going. So I've placed for you both this grade 5 scope and sequence document and the actual AppScript code are available in the admin folder on the demo site. So if you go to the curriculum, if you go to the community and you visit the demo site, I'm hoping many of you have already gone here for resources, but I've added them into this. It should be in here. I might need to refresh this, but I've put, oh, here they are, grade 5 standards and grade 5 scope and sequence. So you can make copies of these to begin adapting them to your own environment. So here's how you would adapt it. And the steps are really quite simple. That's a good thing about it. It looks very complex and sophisticated, but getting this going is actually quite simple. So step 1 essentially is getting the document ID of your own standards Google Sheet. So whatever you build for this, you're going to want that document ID, right? And you're going to just replace the one that is currently in there. And then if you're working with other grade levels, you would simply make sure that the text here reflects the proper grade level you're working with, as well as this function down here. So you want those to be the same. And once that's in place, you're ready to go. And of course, you will need to build out this sheet first. Preferably do that first, then modify the AppScript, and then you can come to the Run button and then Test as an add-on. So we can even configure a new test. So I'm going to choose a different unit. So I'm going to choose this French unit. I'm going to save that test. And again, I'm going to repeat the same process. Grade 5 standards, start. And this time I'm going to choose French as my option. And it'll load the sidebar. And again, I just put in fake data in here just to kind of see how this would build out. But that's how you have it. And in the next video, I will create a video on how to deploy this domain wide. But I hope this is helpful in getting you started in your own curriculum app with inserting standards into unit planners. Thanks for watching. Bye.